All right, folks, it is panel time. In our new expanded panel format, we get to talk to the panel for, count 'em, 2 segments. So we're going to have double the fun with the panel. So I'm looking forward to that. And joining us right now, our friends, frequent panelists, and in this case, Newsmax contributor and University of Maryland professor and economist Peter Morici, and the founder of Less Government, Seton Motley. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, I got 2. Good. I was worrying until there were 2.
I was pausing my reaction. I'm getting old.
Okay. Well,
I
Peter,
was reading about Barack Obama, and my wife said for every hour that I read about Barack Obama, I lose 2 hours on this earth.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty
humorous.
It
means he's aging me.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, did you see earlier in the show we played Obama at the Easter egg roll. He took to the basketball court outdoors, and he had some of the Washington team with him there, and they fresh off their victory last night, I guess, against the Bulls, if that's possible. Anyway, they said they were there. He was 2 for 22. Now, you don't have to be a mathematician, Peter, or an economist to know that 2 out of 22 from the floor is not too good.
Well, it's less than 10%. It just shows you the wear and tear. I understand that the less you tell the truth, the fewer baskets you make.
Hey, Seton, do you find that?
I just think he was trying to, as long as he was higher than the unemployment rate, he was happy.
He was barely higher than it. You realize he shot less than 10%.
Well, then the real unemployment rate hasn't beat.
Well, it's a little bit higher than that,
Right,
actually.
the real unemployment rate. Right. Actually, yeah. All right, let's talk about, and we touched on this, I think, a little bit on Friday when the news broke. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. My memory, I had a birthday on Sunday, so my memory's completely shut. Now I'm, that much more advanced in age. So the Keystone Pipeline, and delaying this even further, of course, past the 2012 elections. It's all politics. It's either or both, to appease the left-wing base, to get them to come out, and or to give an issue to the senators in the states where they want it passed, the Democrats running for re-election, so they could say, hey, we're against this president, look at us. What's left to study here, Peter? What's left to study?
Well, there's nothing left to study. It won't have a negative effect on the environment. There's just nothing left to study. I don't know why environmentalists are against this, other than that they're against everything. I mean, this is starting to be silly. That oil is going to go out the other way in Canada. It's going to go out. It's just going to go over the Rockies somehow or other. We're then going to get the money out of refining it and things like that. To say that the pipeline isn't going to create jobs is not merely ignorant. There's ignorance, there's willful ignorance, and there's willful and destructive ignorance. This is an example of willful and destructive ignorance. Not only won't this thing hurt the environment, but we're going to lose jobs, and we're going to lose a lot of jobs that they don't count, because that oil is going to get refined in the Gulf. And last I heard, refinery jobs pay real good. There's only one problem. It's really hard to find a guy with an Obama button working on an oil rig. That's the problem here.
Yeah, Seton, what about it?
Well, there's so many pipelines crisscrossing the United States. It's like being at a Grateful Dead concert. So I don't see how this one additional pipeline is going to be at all damaging to the environment. Before this report came out from the State Department that said it wasn't damaging to the environment. This is, I think, almost exclusively an opportunity for vulnerable Democrats in energy productive states, and frankly, any Democrat running for office. It gives them an opportunity to bash the president because they need to distance themselves from him on Obamacare, so they can yell about something else and show some room between themselves and the president on something else besides Obamacare. They'll take it, and that's what this is.
Well, why should you send Mary Landrieu to the Senate if she can't get something like a pipeline, through? Think about that. I mean, really, what good are these Democrats doing, folks, when they can't get something that is environmentally benign, jobs creating, passed by a president? It isn't like we were trying to, use some sort of new technology that's untried and all this business. I mean, this is fairly standard stuff. I mean, maybe we should just, you know how you used to have meatless Fridays? Well, maybe we should just have energy-free Fridays, where we all stay at home and either overheat or freeze to make the environmentalists happy.
Oh, they do that. They do that for Earth Day. They have the turn out the lights hour or whatever. So they do that.
That's tomorrow, I think. I think that's tomorrow. Earth Day might be tomorrow. But Seton, Peter makes a great point that, you know, how does Mary Landrieu, for instance, say, boy, this president, he won't give us the Keystone Pipeline. I'm against him. Look at me. Well, what good are you if you can't convince him to get it?
Well, because Obama's been so unilateral for 5 years and just doing stuff at his own discretion, Constitution and rule of law be damned, that I think that's a legit. I mean, that in the impression of the average voter is, if Obama wants to do something all by his onesies, he can do it. So I think Landrieu can make that argument. I think Mark Pryor, I think Begich in Alaska, I think these guys can say, look, he's been changing Obamacare like crazy, which I'm against. He won't approve the Keystone Pipeline, which I'm against. But what am I going to do? He's the president, and I'm just one senator. So I don't think that is particularly. I think the positives outweigh the negatives for Democrats in the arguments with the Keystone Pipeline.
Well, clearly he's done that calculus and believes it to be so. He's quite concerned that the environmentalists will sit on their hands and not participate in the upcoming election.
And let's not forget Tom Steyer, the $100 million man, who made his money in the coal industry and now is pledging $100 million to Democrats who will push the global warming mess. It also turns out, by the way, that Tom Steyer has stock in a company that is building a competitor to the Keystone Pipeline, a different pipeline. So don't forget.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Seton, I thought only the Koch brothers do that. All right, hang on. We're coming back, folks.
Harry Reid had
we'll continue. We'll pick it up, Seton, on the other side of the break, because we now have two segments with our great panel, Peter Morici and Seton Motley. We will all return with more. You demanded it. You got it. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax Television.
We don't just talk about the news. We talk to those making news. This is the Steve Malzberg Show.